So these two are on Wellesley Island, and it is the second largest island here in the region and the largest American island. It sits at about 8 miles long and 4 miles wide at its widest point. So this home over here to your left is Hopewell Hall. This marks the end of Wellesley Island. The man who owned this also owned a textile company that manufactured war uniforms for many armies throughout the years. If you haven't noticed yet, there is a for sale sign. That home has been for sale for the past few summers now. It was originally listed at $5.4 million, but now it's only $3.1.
पैसा घटिरहेको छ अब कहिले घट्छ अब घर घर सल्लाह गर्ने कुन चाहिँ सस्तो छ हैन अनि त्यसपछि अझै लिने कुन चाहिँ हो यो कुन चाहिँ अजितले लिने चाहिँ खेद्नु पर्यो कुन चाहिँ लिने चाहिँ अहिले अजितले लिने घर चाहिँ मैले लाइभ गरिदिएको छु कुन चाहिँ हो भने त म जुम गरिदिन्छु कुन त्यो हो
So this island up here to the left with the flags you're going to see coming up, that is Nobby Island. It is currently owned by a doctor that works out of Cazenovia, New York. So as we get closer to the house, you're going to see the pillars in front of it on that hill. Those pillars that supposed to have that stone are not held together by anything other than the weight of the house upon it.
त्यही त है ल अजितले किन्न लागेको घर चाहिँ यही हो है अहिले जसले हेर्नुभएको छ अजितले किन्न लागेको घर यही हो पछि यहीँ आउनुपर्छ है यो यसको नाम पछि चाहिँ गौतम आइल्यान्ड हुनेछ है पाण्डे दादा यो मन पर्यो पाण्डे आइल्यान्ड पाण्डे म त पाण्डे निवास लेख्छु नि पाण्डे निवास
which is today known as American Airlines. His grandfather was also in
पाण्डे निवास है यो चाहिँ
created the double hinge nutcracker
पाण्डे निवास यहाँ साइडमा लेखेको छ अलिकति देखिदैन तर त्यो उतापट्टि गयो भने देखिन्छ उता हाम्रो तामाङ निवास चाहिँ यो हो कि क्या हो तामाङ निवासको अगाडि खै के चिन्ह राखिरहेको रहेछ त्यहाँ ऊ त्यो पर्यो तामाङ निवास यहाँ ठ्याक्क यही हो घर चाहिँ तामाङ निवास केसी निवास कहाँनिर पर्छ केसी निवास खै केसी को थाहा छैन मलाई अब हाम्रो सुशील निवास भन्ने चाहिँ बरु सुशील व्यक्तिको
This is St. Elmo's Island. So St. Elmo was a patron for all the sailors and ships that go out here on the St. Lawrence River.
Oh, केसी निवास यहाँ छ ल
So towards the foot of this island, you're going to see the boathouse there. That is a replica of the original home that once sat on top of that island. That home was unfortunately caught and lost to fire.
ल ठिकै छ म विचार गर्छु नि त्यो पनि लिने यो पनि लिने गरौँला नि त के छ र
So a lot of people around the Thousand Islands during the Great Depression, I mentioned the fires, they decided that they would burn their houses down to try and get the home insurance from their house from burning it down. So little did they know that the insurance company didn't have any money either. So they were both out of luck. There are local fire departments in this region. It's just a little harder to get out to the islands because they're all volunteer and they have to get off their job, then get the boats ready, and then get out to the island. Although they have a big accomplishment that they claim, they haven't lost a stone foundation yet. So that's what they like to say. I don't know how big of an accomplishment that actually is. They also do have 3 fireboats based on their speed. So the fastest one they have is the Last Chance. The second fastest they have is the No Hope, and the slowest boat they have is the Long Gone. So coming up, if you haven't noticed yet, is the highlight in the heart of the Thousand Islands for many people, and that is Bolt Castle. So I'm going to give you a little bit of history about that. So George Bolt came over at the age of 13 as a Prussian immigrant. He quickly found a job as a busboy in a hotel down in New York City and worked his way up to a manager position at a young age. So a group of investors decided that they were going to make their own hotel and wanted him to be the manager of it. So at that point, one of the daughters of the investors ended up being his future fiancée and wife Louise, who he started to build this castle for. So Louise and George ended up making a fortune in the hotel industry and had some even in New York City and Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, and that's how he afforded to build this castle for her. So this little home, or George Bolt had another love of his life that not many people knew about. And that was his mother-in-law. So if you see that little brown home there on that tiny island, that's what he ended up building for her.
सायद उहाँले लिने यो होला मलाई यो अलि चिटिक्क लाग्यो गौतम निवास अलि सानो हैन अलि चिटिक्क यो लाग्यो त मलाई त यो चाहिँ ठीक छ त्यसै हाम्रो त्यो जोशी निवास बनाइदियो नि त है त्यसलाई जोशी निवास बनाइदियो नि जोशी निवास ल
First structure over here on Hart Island is going to be the Arch of Honor. This is where George Bolt would have greeted his guests that were coming over to the castle. So the next structure you see there is going to be the Ulster's Tower, the kids' playhouse. Although when George was building this, his kids were more teenagers, so I like to think of it more as a man cave. This has many billiards rooms, a bowling alley, and even a movie theater.
रमाइलो लाग्यो यहाँनिर यो रमाइलो रहेछ थाउजन्ड आइल्यान्ड पनि मजाले घुम्ने आएको है
So next up we have the castle here itself. It sits at 6 stories tall, has about 120 rooms, 45 fireplaces, and 30 plus bathrooms. It also has 365 windows, so that makes one for every day of the year.
Bye bye.
Tower kind of peeking out between the trees. That's where George would have kept his exotic birds. That was his hennery. And around that hennery you would see his Italian floral gardens. Those usually hold about 50 to 100 weddings every summer, but unfortunately due to the pandemic there hasn't been any this year. The last building here on Hart Island is going to be the powerhouse for the castle. This is where he would have kept his steam engines and generator to run the castle over the years. And then lastly, if you peek back behind Hart Island, you're going to see a white
हाम्रो क्रू मेम्बरहरु यहाँ हाम्रो क्याप्टेन उहाँ सह क्याप्टेन चालक दलको सदस्य यहाँ सहचालक भइका हैन दाइ मास्क लगाऊ अगाडि गाउँ ए यताबाट यहाँबाट ल आइयो है फाइनल डेस्टिनेसन अब कहाँ बस्नु पानी परिरहेछ कहाँ बस्नु हल्का पानी पर्छ अहिले चाहिँ हामी माथिबाट तल झऱ्यौँ पानी त्यस्तो लाग्छ अवस्थित तर एकदम रमाइलो लाग्यो यहाँ
So if you haven't ever seen a bear while you've been here in the Thousand Islands, you can go ahead and look on top of the house to your left that's coming up. That home right there is going to be sitting on Pumper Island, and that bear is about 7 feet tall on top of there. That sits on top is what is known as a widow's watch or widow's walk. So right here to your right, you're going to see this little island with no home or anything on it. This once housed a giant mansion known as the Stony Crest Mansion. It was shortly taken down because right where we're about to pass is the narrowest spot in the channel. So they wanted that home to be taken down so that way the lights and that kind of thing didn't affect the navigation of the bigger boats that go through here. Thing back up on there. So coming up here to your left, this is all going to be Wellesley Island. And right here is going to be the Border Patrol headquarters for the region. And shortly after that, you're going to see the